These two getting together, talk to us about what sort of atmosphere it's going to be like.
Hi, Kay. Ideological opposites, these two. You've got Trudeau, who is this young, optimistic leader. The last time he was here in Washington, D.C. was, of course, to see President Obama. Lots of common ground for those two there, even talk of a sort of mentor role that President Obama played for the young Prime Minister of Canada. He is a feminist, he is pro-immigration, pro-refugee, he's absolutely on board with climate change, trying to reverse the effects. So he's pretty much the opposite politically to Donald Trump. And because of that, he's coming under some pressure to really focus on those aspects of Donald Trump's presidency that Liberals are so concerned about. So that is kind of what is on his agenda today. It's most likely that trade, though, will be the focus. The two are going to have a private meeting in the Oval Office first, then they'll be having a meeting with women execs, and then after that they'll be having a news conference at 2 o'clock local time, so around 7 p.m. UK time. So I think the focus will be on trade because, of course, for the United States of America, Canada is the second biggest trade partner to China, and for Canada there's even more at stake. Two-thirds pretty much of Canada's trade is with the US, and that includes pretty much all of their oil going to the US. Manufacturing is very much directed down here. So there is a lot that this Prime Minister has to think about there beyond perhaps his own morals and own ethics when it comes to his beliefs. I think there's a lot of pressure on him to come here and make sure that NAFTA, for example, the North American Free Trade Agreement that Donald Trump has promised to renegotiate, that stays on track in Canada's favour. Much of Donald Trump's ire is directed at Mexico in respect of that. But he didn't really, hasn't been totally vocal about his opposition to Donald Trump, despite pressure from left-leaning parties in his own country. I think this is the closest he went. Let's take a look at his tweet when Donald Trump introduced that controversial travel ban. This is what Justin Trudeau said: "To those fleeing persecution, terror, war, Canadians welcome you, regardless of your faith. Diversity is our strength." So a lot of people saw that as Prime Minister Trudeau taking a pop at Donald Trump, but he hasn't really been any more overt than that.
Busy day for you, Amanda. Back to you shortly. For now, thanks very much indeed. Thanks a lot. A little later tonight, 7 o'clock, we're expecting both leaders to hold a joint